Hey guys, welcome to Your Best Interviews. My name is Eric Smith. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I know there's a lot of places you can go, so I appreciate you spending it here with me. Sorry I look so rough. I'm exhausted. I haven't showered. I've been home all weekend with two sick kids, with my wife attending a wedding, and so I am on fumes, but I wanted to record a quick video and talk through something that I hear all the time. So it's more in line with interview questions, right? Interview questions that you're going to receive. And the most common one outside of tell me about yourself, I would say probably top 10 most common is, so why should we hire you? This question gets asked a lot. It's really them asking you to sell them on why you're best for the role. And so this is one that you want to prepare for, right? You want to have a prepared answer for. You don't have to have it completely memorized, but you should be aware of how to answer this specifically to the job that you're interviewing for. And so my advice, and keep in mind, my advice is all centered around what's going to give you the greatest probability of winning the question, right? Not necessarily how do you answer it for different personality types, because interviewers are all different, right? Some interviewers are aggressive, some are not so aggressive, some are great, some are terrible, right? And so you want to make sure that you're structuring an answer for all interview personas, and giving yourself the greatest chance of moving forward based on your answer. And so my advice on this would be how you should prepare for why should we hire you is you should know what the job description is inside and out. You should study that ahead of time. You should know exactly what they're looking for from a requirement standpoint and from a responsibility standpoint. Requirements are just what you need to have in order to be a qualified candidate for it. The responsibilities of that role are more the day-to-day and what's expected. And so if you know that going in, what I would recommend is practice structuring your answer around the responsibilities. So you can kind of already start formulating like, well, why am I best for this role? I know based on reading the job description and through our discussion here today, you're looking for this, and this. This is where I think I can fit in and really excel in these areas. And you're kind of speaking to your strengths based on what they're looking for on that job description, right? So you're immediately tying it back to what they're asking for in the description and your experiences. Now you don't want to give a full overview of your resume, being like, well, I started over here and this is the, like, you want to really tighten and condense your answer, right? So pick out, I would say maybe 2 or 3 of the most important pieces that you see in the key responsibilities, or what's the nature of the role? What are you really trying to accomplish within that role? Is it sales heavy, marketing heavy? Maybe it's admin heavy, whatever it is, data analytics, whatever the role is. What are the key responsibilities of that? Like if you had to take it to the highest level, what is that? Right? And then focus in on what are the 2 or 3 most important responsibilities to achieve that overall goal. That's what I would hone in on. And I would tie it back to, what I saw in the job description through our conversation today. It's clear that these are the most important elements. And this is why I think I would be a great addition to the team, because I excel in these areas. And you're kind of tying it right back to the resume itself and what they're asking for. But then I would add a little bit more at the end. So you've directly tied your experience and why you're the best candidate based on what they've asked for. But then I would always go above and beyond and say, but beyond that, I believe, and then talk about some of the characteristics that are going to really set you apart as a member of their team, right? So I would say something around like work ethic, or the ability to work as a team, and maybe your experiences in the past that lend to you being a really good, strong team member. Something around that, or maybe it's coachability, those type of things that are maybe not so like easy to spot necessarily on a resume when you're reading it. But those are the things that hiring managers really want to hear, right? So again, this is a long-winded, but what I would say is you really want to try and script this out, practice it ahead of time so you can spit it out within a minute and a half, no more than 2. If you're talking more than 2 minutes on this response, it's way too long. So try and keep it as condensed as possible. Tie it back to, I know from reading the job description and through our conversation today, it seems like these are the most important areas to really excel. And I think from my experience, my background, I know we've talked about it, but I really feel like that would lend a lot and, allow me to excel in these areas that are most important to you. But beyond that, I also believe that I have a work ethic that is unmatched, and through my experiences in X, Y, and Z, that I would be a tremendous addition to your team because I thrive in a team atmosphere. And so I will be somebody that will come in, hit the ground running for you, but also be a culture add to your team and really benefit the broader group. And that's why I think I would be the right hire for you. So that's the type of answer you want to structure, right? You want to tie it back to what they're asking for, but then also add in some of the things that they can't necessarily read on your resume that really would set you apart and makes you attractive to them, right? Like, they have to work with you every day. You're going to integrate into their team either positively or negatively. And so make it easy on them, right? Talk about some of those things that for them make you a really good hire outside of just what they see on the resume and what you can do directly in the role, which are both very important. But if you can tie in both, it's the best way to put your best foot forward and hopefully move forward and win that question. Good luck.